Good morning, this is Lucinda from Showbiz Software. Thank you very much for joining us for the Understanding Orders and Accounts webinar. You should be able to see the PowerPoint screen firstly, so we'll just quickly click through that. So yeah, if you could just put yourselves, a bit of housekeeping, if you can put yourselves on mute, any microphones and phones regarding, because we've had issues with feedback in the past. If you've got any questions, please feel free to type them into the chat box at the bottom of the GoToMeeting panel. I can try and keep an eye on them during the webinar, but if not, I can catch up with those at the end, or they can answer any questions you might have. We've recorded this session, so if anyone, if you want to revisit it, or if you don't get a chance to join us on the webinar, you can always catch up with that. That's not a problem. And they're all available on Zendesk, which I will send you the link to. So as I've mentioned, today's webinar is regarding the Understanding Orders and Accounts. It's the 5th of our webinars. We've only got 2 more after this. But if you've got any other webinars you want us to run on a certain subject, just let us know, and I'm sure we can get them scheduled in if you need them. So going through from shop to accounts, because it's like going through the full cycle of the accounts. In the shop, as shown last week, you can define your products, set rules for the shopping basket. You can also control exactly what customers can do within the basket, what they can buy. Certain products such as the memberships or trade stands and sponsorships are application process, so they can only apply, they can't purchase straight away. Whereas you get other items like tickets, entries, you can purchase them straight away that you want to. So you can set them up exactly and control them exactly as you need them. And there's also the brilliant option to add items into the basket, so you don't have to worry like first aid, or if you need certain tickets, you give them, say like a buy one get one free. You've got those rules that you can set up, and the system will automatically add items to the basket. You can either hide them or you can show them. It's entirely up to you. The system will let you do both ways. Baskets, you can control, you can see what are in people's baskets, which is really quite handy. So if you're coming up to your closing date, you can quickly scroll through what people have certain items in the basket. You can then quickly drop them an email saying, don't forget our entries are closing, say Friday. Don't forget to complete your basket because you haven't completed it. Just a friendly, gentle reminder just to help people, because they might have forgotten, I've gone off lambing or something and forgotten to finish their entries. You have the orders, so that's you process your order based on any criteria. You can send, resend order confirmations. It can be on your own templates, your show colours, so it's completely there to strengthen your brand and all your colours, everything like that. You've got the accounts, you can create your accounting transactions automatically. Say at the basket, so when you go through the order process, the system will automatically create invoices and send them out to the customers, so you don't have to do that manually. You can also got the option when you go through the basket or through the shop process, you can select whether you want to automatically assign the payment then and there, and also the raise the invoice as well. So the system will try to reduce as much workload as it can, and you can do it as and when you need it. You can also export the transactions to different accounting packages. These can be set up, and there's just within the utilities you can set up which items and which transactions are exported in which columns. And we've also got the global search, which is a really handy little tool. You can do quite a lot from this one global search tool. If you want to, say if you're entering 20 different classes for a customer, you can go to the global search, find their name, and then you can right click on the name and go through the global search and add items into the basket. So you can add, say, the 20 entries, say class 5, 6, 7, 8, automatically add it to the basket. You can then go to the basket and fill out the details. So it saves a lot of time. You can quickly add them straight into the basket. You can do a lot of other things through global search as well, which I can show you later. So let's have a look at Showbiz. We'll just change the screen. So if we go to monitor 1. So you should now be seeing the baskets manager, but what I will quickly do, if we quickly go to the shop, go to the shop menu, as you can see at the top of the screen, you've got the different tabs, and they all say which screen you're actually in. So if you want to go to the shop, you can say, right, okay, this tab's got the shop, this one's got orders awaiting dispatch. So you've got all the different tabs at the top, you know exactly which tab you want to go and look at. So if we go to the shop, so as I mentioned earlier, you've got certain items such as trade stands and sponsorships, which are application only. So the system will, when you go through them, it will say apply for this product. So straight away the people know exactly it's an application process, they can't just purchase it straight out. So it's quite easy and quick for people to understand the system. We can go into one of the baskets. So if we have a look in Yasmin's baskets, you can see that there's nothing in there for her at the minute. So if we add, say, a membership for her, we can quickly go through, add, say, like a corporate membership. The system shows you the membership is in the basket. You can then go and have a look at it. And then you've got all the information that yourselves or your customers will need to know. It's waiting user, so you can edit it, say which membership or who the membership's for. And then you can process your through your basket through to the payment. So if we go to checkout, you can then go through the different stages. You can select which address you want. And then here is the screen I was mentioning earlier. I'm just waiting for your, just notice your screen's not caught up. Just waiting for the screen to catch up. Just refresh my one. Currently it says it's waiting for the membership information, whereas I've gone several pages past that. So let's get back to see if we can get this to catch up. Go back to the basket. Let me just see if it's just my screen that hasn't refreshed. Okay, I think the system might have crashed. Let me see if we can get this working again. Sorry about this. Could I just ask if someone could just use a chat menu just to say whether you've still got the basket membership box up where it's asking for what the membership for, because that's what the minute what my system's showing me, whereas I've actually gone onto a separate screen, so I think the system's not caught up. What I might do, I might actually quickly flip back to the PowerPoint, see whether that catches up. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so that's just changed. Let me go back and change this screen back to the original one. See if that's catched. Perfect. Okay, right. Now that the system's caught up, you can see that the basket's got the membership item in it, ready to check out. You can then go to the checkout. You can see down the right hand side the different checkout stages. So at the minute, it's sort of like if there are age restrictions, the system warns people on that, so people shouldn't purchase memberships or age restricted items when they shouldn't. You can select which payment address or billing address you want, just click it and it automatically changes to the right hand side. We can then go through, and this is what I mentioned earlier regarding the payment details. You can select, because we're looking at it as a show user, so it's just yourselves, not your customer. You've got more options as to the payment methods. When you go through here, you've got the different ones. So if you want check, you can then say if you want to automatically generate the invoice once you've finished these screens, and you can also receipt the payment as well. So there's two items you don't then have to do. You can also, if you don't want to receipt it straight away, you can untick that. So if you're going to send the check to the bank, make sure it clears before you put the payment on, and do it that way. That's entirely up to you, but the system will let you automatically add the invoice and the receipt at the same time. So you've then got because it's a check, you can then add in the check number if you want to. It's entirely up to you, but the system lets you add that if you want to. So it just gives you a lot of information you can put into the system when you need to. So that's automatically added the order to the customer's account, including the receipt and the invoice. So if we change back to the basket manager screen, you can see here you've got the option with all the grid managers, all these different screens. You can search by any of these columns that you want to. You can set up the rows and columns that you see, so you can set up to show if you just want to see items that are waiting for a customer to put more information in. You've got these, and you've also got the option to change your columns. So if you want to see different columns in here, you can. It's entirely up to you. They're all very customizable exactly for what you need to see when you want to see it. So at the minute, we've searched on any items that are waiting for customer to put more information in. You can see in here that, say, Megan Stewart has added a class, but she hasn't completed it. So you can send her a message saying, don't forget to complete your entry. You can also have a look through and see if there's certain trade stands, if you want to give them, start communicating with them, saying, oh, we've seen you've put this in your basket. Is there anything other information you need or would like to see? Just let me know. And you can very quickly and easily do that by just selecting the people you want on the right hand side, or if you want to select all, you can. And then you go to the action cogs on the right hand side. You can then send an email, a letter, a message, anything like that. The system will let you do that very quickly and easily. You've also got the option to clear basket items. So if you get to a certain point and a class is closed or your entries have closed, you can go in and find all of your entries. You can then clear the basket so no one can then try and enter, sort of like submit their entry late. The system will let you clear them all out of the basket, so the basket will then be cleared, and then when they go back in, there's nothing in there. So they know that the system's emptied the basket, so they then can't process their late entries. So that's another really good, quick and easy way to control people that are adding orders onto the system. So yes, that's a very quick and easy way to do that. You can also look for anything that's waiting for the show. So if someone has submitted a trade stand and someone in the show needs to have a look at the application, go through it, you can. If you want to go and have a look at one of the trade stands, you can have a look, you can click on it, it will then take you to the trade stand, and then you can have a look and go through it and look at what's needed, process it, and then go back to the customer. So it's a really quick and easy way to go through and see exactly what's waiting for different people, whether it's customer or show. And then you've got any ready items. So this is the items that are there ready for the orders to go through. There's no further information needed before you can process through to the basket. If it's a trade stand and it's still waiting for information, it will not let them check it out. Everything has to, all the mandatory fields have to be filled out before they can then process. So what we can do now, we can then have a look at the orders manager. So I can have a look. So this is all these manager screens are very similar. They're all the grid-based screens where you can search and order them in. If you want to change the order, you can just by simple click of the button and the option, whichever one you want. You can then see whichever you need. And again, you've got your different rows and columns at the top. So if you want to change your rows or columns, you can. It's really quick and simple to do. So all of these items are the orders that have gone through the system. They've been processed, and you can see on the right hand side you've got the different order status. So if they're cancelled, you can see them. You can see ones that haven't been fully closed yet. Fully closed is invoiced, receipted, everything. But there's these ones haven't been paid or haven't had an invoice raised against them. So not all of the accounting transactions have happened. Again, on the right hand side you can see the action cog, so you can send people messages, you can send them emails. It's entirely up to you. You've got a lot of options here that you can do. If you want to print the order, you can. You can also resend an order email. So if someone says, oh, I can't find my order email, can you resend it to me? You can do that very quickly and easily. You can search for the order reference, say like if it's order 20, you can then send the message or the order, resend the order email straight away, very quickly and easily. You'll also see on the right-hand menu, you've got the option to dispatch orders. When you set up a product, you've got the option to include it in the packing list. So if I quickly show you a Friday ticket. So this ticket has been set up with all the information it needs. It's an event ticket. There's no additional actions that are needed. That would be regarding like trade stand if there's additional documents needed. But on the right hand side down the bottom, you've got the tick box option to say that the product should be included in packing list. So any item that has to be posted out by yourselves, you can tick this, and then the system will generate you a report that will show you all of the items that need to be sent to each customer. And you can then quickly think, right, okay, I need to send these to this person, these to this person. So we can then, this is the list of the order items that are waiting dispatch. So these are the items that haven't been sent out yet. So you can go through and have a look. You can search by contacts. You can also search by date, whether it's the last 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, or all. So you can see these are the items that haven't been dispatched yet. You can, if you want to, you can search on reference, contact, whatever you need to. You can also search by item. So if you want to just send out tickets, so you can then reduce it down so it's only the tickets that are there. So if you just have certain things you want to send out at a certain point in time, you can. So all you need to do is select the ones that you want to send out. So if we want to send, you can select that all and have a look. You can open the report. This will allow you to see the items that need to be sent out and then the name and address of the person that they need to be sent out to. So it just takes a short while to generate this. And you can see the order items dispatched on today's date, name and address, and then the items that needed to be included. And you've also got a tick box. So once you've got them, they're ready, you can tick it. You know that you've got everything you need to send out to that person. So these are all the different ones that we've selected. So you can see parking passes, you've got tickets. So if, say like you've got a vice president that will have a membership parking pass, you've also maybe have a marquee ticket that they need. You can set these all up as items, whether they cost $0 or cost a small amount. It's entirely to you. They'll then get added to this packing list, and then you can send them out. It's really quick and simple to do. So if we go back to the orders waiting dispatch screen, you can then select, okay, right, I just want to send these top 2 items out, so it's order 40 and 41 to Yasmin and Jordan. You can then click the action cog, and then you can then say dispatch items. This will then update this list to say that the items have been dispatched. So if we do that, it will then come up with a warning message just saying these items are going to be marked as dispatch. You say yes to proceed. And then you can then see, so look, so order 41 isn't there now. So those items are now no longer showing on the list. If you want to as well, you can export them to CSV. So you can then get all the information out. You can then do your own mail mode if you want to. If you have a certain way, if you put a letter with it, you can. So that's entirely up to you. You can do that as well. We can then go to the Accounts Manager. So if we go to the next tab along, this is the Accounts Manager. Very similar screen, very quick, easy grid manager. You can scroll through and search all the orders and the account. You can then see the different invoices, receipts, So if you want to just find all the invoices, you can. So you can have a quick look through, or have the transaction numbers or the invoice numbers, nominal codes. So it breaks it down. And again, these can all be set up exactly the information that you need. If you select a line, it then shows you what is on that order. So if we have a look and find, you can then just quickly go through and have a look at the different transactions. Any information you want to see, you can. So it just opens it up and you can have a look at it. You've also got the day books. So you have your accounting day books. So as you can see, we ran one yesterday. You can have a look at that one. There's no information in it. But we can have a look and then run a day book for the last, say, 30 days. We can then create a new report. So within your day book, you've got the options to select the transaction type. If you want to just report on certain items, if you just want invoices, you can. You can have select everything. It's entirely up to you what information you'd like to create the day books for. And then if you want to select one, say if we select the nominal code day book, you can select a date range, like this week, this month, the last month, and then also custom, which will then bring you up date boxes, so you can select certain dates. So if we just do it for this month, you can also select which street or which show you want to select to export the details from, and also which users you want the report from. So if you just want to run a report for the invoices raised by a certain user, you can do that. So we do it for all users. This is now creating the report. So the system's saying that the report is creating, so that'll be available. And as you can see, that is pending. So what we can do, we can just quickly go off and look at a couple of other items while that is preparing itself. You've also got it says print statements here, but you can do that on the contacts manager. So if we go to the contacts manager, if you want to, you can select the columns so you can show which customers have money outstanding. You can then select and then send statement. So the system will automatically use your template that you've added to the system, send the statement and send it out to all the people that you would need the statement sent to. Really quick and easy. It's very simple. You don't have to do a lot of information, a lot of tick boxing to say which ones you want. You can quickly and easily see it when you've got your columns set up. So we can go back and just have a look at our daybook report. So I can have a look, see whether that still says pending, so I can go back to that in a moment and refresh it. So what we can do, we can then go and have a look at direct debits. Oh, sorry, I missed one. We need to have a look at the past exports. So you can have a look and see if you've exported any items in the past. So on the export, you can see that these items have been exported. So if you want to go back and have a look at anything, you can. So if we go back to the orders manager, or the accounts manager, sorry. When you want to export accounts, you've got the option to select the ones you want. You can do by certain dates. So if you want to do a date range, you can. So if we're just going to do these ones, select top 4, and then press export to Sage. The system will then create you your CSV to export or import into your account system. Gives you a warning message saying they're about to export 6 transactions to Sage. They'll be marked exported and then they won't be able to export again. If you say yes, the system will then create your CSV. You want to open it and have a look at it. It will then show you the transactions as a CSV that can then get imported straight into your accounts. You can also export them to CSV if you want to have a look at them before you export them to your accounts. It's entirely up to you. So if we go back here, and go back to the view past exports, you should then see, here's the one that we've just done. So that'll then show you the information that is shown in there. So if you ever need to go back to look at them, you can. We've also got the collect direct debits. the system will allow you to, if you can do direct debits, you have the option to take money for direct debits for whatever you've got in the system. You can select whether it's memberships, sponsorships, trade stands, anything. If you've got the direct debits system set up, you can use this showbiz to help you do that. So as we can see at the minute, we've got nothing showing for direct debit collection. So if we go to the shop, let's go and find and grab a tab and go to the shop. I'm going to go and search for Katie Jenkins because I know that she has she's set up for direct debit. So we've now changed it to Katie Jenkins. We'll buy her a membership. So we just select a single membership. System says that's been added to the basket. So we can then go through the basket process, select the membership is for Katie, save that. We can then go through to the checkout. And because what I was mentioning earlier, the basket rules, this is what I've mentioned regarding, so any membership that gets added to the basket gets a parking pass automatically included. So the customer knows that they're getting a parking pass with their membership, and this will also be included in the packing or the orders dispatch report as well. So you can proceed to payment, keep going through, and now you can see this option or the shop for Katie Jenkins has got direct debit. The other one didn't, but because Katie's been set up, that's got her bank details on her account, you can see that that is where the direct debit is set up. So you can then process that for direct debit, proceed to review, and then confirm. So order 44 is now complete. So if we go back to the collect direct debit, we can now see that Katie Jenkins is showing up because she's got an order on her account that is set for direct debit payment. So that is now showing. So what you can do in here, you can select this. You can then generate a BACS file, which is your direct debit file. You can also export it to CSV to check. So if you've got a lot of them, you can go through and have a look, make sure you're happy with them all. But at the minute, we'll just generate a BACS file for Katie. So then you get an Excel spreadsheet. This is then set up ready for your BACS, for your direct debit system. So you can set these columns up exactly as you need them so it can be imported into your direct debit system. This is all within the utilities. You can set up the columns exactly as you need them for the export. So that's been exported. So we then go to the post direct debit receipts. So this is the one we've just created, which is for Katie. You've then got at the minute it's been requested, so it seems you've gone through, added it, imported it into your direct debit system, processed it. Now you have the option to post a receipt. So once the receipt's gone through and it hasn't bounced back, post a receipt, or you can mark it as failed, mark collections failed. So if the item has gone through, you've processed direct debit and then direct debit is bounced, which unfortunately do happen sometimes, you can mark that as failed and the system will put that back into the direct debit process again. So it basically starts it again so you can see, okay, that's been put back in the system to try again. So it's entirely up to you which one you need to check. So we've done it, post the receipt. Do that again. So that's now been saved. So if we go and have a look at Katie Jenkins, we can then see on Katie Jenkins account that the receipt has gone through. It's a direct debit receipt, so that's been, the system has automatically updated that for you. So you've got the invoice that's been raised, you've got the parking pass, that's the membership parking pass, and then you've also got the receipt. So what you can also do in the contact records, you've also got the basket, so you can see if they've got anything in their basket. You've got the option to change whether it's waiting for customer, waiting for show, anything like that. That's all there ready. You've got the orders tab, so you can see the different orders, and then you can see that the invoice has been generated. So this is the invoice that the system's created, so this is your setup, so you can set this up exactly to what you need it to be. So it's your template, this is completely customizable. You can see that it has been paid. You've then got the list of invoices, so if they just want an invoice, you can quickly go in here, find the invoice, click it, and then it will open it for you so you can then send it off. You've then got their accounts screen, so you can have a look, and you've got all the receipt, invoice on there, and then you can see any memberships that they've got, any current memberships, and you've also got, this is the bank details. So when this option is unticked, the direct debit option in the checkout for the show will be not shown, but if it's ticked, it will be shown. But it'll only be for the shows, it won't be for the customers. This is purely for the show users, so the customers can't say, oh, I want to pay that for direct debit, and then say, I don't really want to. So this is just for the show users. So you can put all the details in there. The system gives a warning, but this is only visible to people with the correct credentials to be able to see the confidential data, so administrators and that sort of thing. So if someone else had gone in, they didn't have them correct permissions, they wouldn't see the bank details. So it's all hidden, and in the system, in the tables, it's all encoded, so no one can see them. So that's the direct debits. Let's have a look. Let's go back and have a look and go back to our report, our debit report. That's currently pending at the minute, because it's obviously picked up a lot to go through, but yeah, it's like you can pick them up and then you can see the different debit reports. Okay, so that's a quick overview of all the baskets to accounts. Does anybody have any questions regarding that at all? Does anyone want to see anything else? We just change the screen back to the PowerPoint. So next week's webinar is managing your end users. What I'm going to be doing each week, I'm going to be calling for all of our early adopters. We can arrange time where we can go through and see if there's anything you need help with. If you want to help yourselves get your show set up, so we can schedule some time with yourselves and go through all the bits and pieces that we need to. So we can do that. That's not a problem at all. But yeah, so we've got the webinar next week, but if you've got any questions, please give us a call. We can schedule a time, or we can go through it there and then, depending what you need to do. We want to get everything up and running for yourselves. So I don't think anyone's got any questions at the minute. So, okay, brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your time, and have a good weekend, and we will see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.